In this project, we are doing date time part 2. So we are going to start with a time series, which would be the same as data frame later. And this is our time series. Whenever I create something, I put TS on the left so that I can see. Now let's see what this time series that we produce. So we said that we want random numbers. Index is PD, index date range. Whenever we say range, it's going to be a range. Range by itself a keyword means like multiple things. So range from here, period equal to 4. You should get 4 and frequency equal to month. And you want to start from 1, 1. So it's giving you the last day of the first month, last day of the second month. If I change this to Q, it's going to give me quarterly, the last day of the quarter. If I change this to A, it's going to be an annual. So based on what we want to do, we can change it. Right now, I don't want you to worry about the syntax I've been telling. Just worry about looking at what is possible, what is not possible, and changing some code. Now let's see what happens if I write shift 1. Now as the name suggests, shift 1 could either move things up or it could move things down. Let's see what it does here. So it moved things down. So this 1016 came on March. So it moved things down, which means that if I shift this negative up, it's going to be just the negative effect. So let me try to shift it. So when I shift this up, it goes 1 up. So just remember this keyword shift. It shifts things up and down. And once you have the shifted time series, you can do any calculation on that. Now, if I do this, then it does a shift 1. Let's see what is shift 1. So I'm going to go here and I'm dissecting it, breaking it apart. So shift 1. And it is dividing TS by shift 1 and then doing -1 to find out how it looks like. So this is TS and this is shift 1. So NAN divided by 1.06. 1.06 divided by TS divided by shift 1. So 1.06 divided by NAN. 1.02 divided by 1.16. So 1.7 divided by 1.02. 1.06 divided by 1.7. In other words, we are dividing everything by the last day's return. It's like we are finding out the daily return or the monthly return in this case. So that's how we find out. And whenever you do any kind of a play, the index remain preserved. That's how they built the language. That's how they thought about it. You could also shift based on monthly, or you can do shift based on days or 90 days, whatever you want. Let's see another example here. In this case, I'm doing now and it's saying date time not defined. So whenever I get that, I'm going to Google for this and put the date time. Otherwise, I'm going to see if I have something here. If I have nothing here, then I'm going to Google this and search. So if you run any of my code and you get this error, then just right click on it and go to the first link of Stack Overflow and just copy paste the thing. So module not callable because date time might be defined as a different manner. So it is from date time import date time. So let's see, from date time import date, import date time from date time. So this is how they do. So this is a timestamp, and if I do go to 17/11/2000 and then I say that 3 into day, and right now what is day, I can just go ahead and see that. So 3 into day, and day is 1 day. So 3 into day, and I add that, so it become uh, 3 days ahead, which is exactly 18, 19, and 20, 3 days ahead. So this is how I add days inside that. Okay, let's do now plus month end. So now plus month end takes me to the end of the month. So it does not mean that at the month end. It wants to go to the month end and stop there. This is a very powerful feature to stop at the month end for that time. What happens if I do month end 2? It goes 1 month later and give me the last date of the month. And this is very powerful. Okay, now let's see. Offset equal to month end. And when I say offset dot roll forward, it's going to take me to the month end like here. So I can do a roll forward based for now. So whatever I define, I can do that. Okay, let's move to the next example. Here we are creating a time series with 4 days difference. The period is 20 and it starts from 1/15/2000. Now if I do ts dot group by, I'm doing the group by offset dot roll forward, which was offset dot roll forward, and I'm doing a mean. So what would it do? It would go ahead and give me the mean of those times. So 31/1, 29/2. So it's going to the last of that month and giving me the mean of that month, which means that it's giving me the mean of this, which would be 2, 4.5, 5 minus 2, like something like 0.3 or whatever it's going to come out to be. So it's giving me the average of all those numbers. If I do a sum, it's going to give me the sum of those numbers. So this is like summing till the end of that month, everything in that month. Now assume these things are very new, assumingly you don't remember it. Just remember that it is possible, like taking the sum or doing a group by sum, because otherwise you have to create a group by column and then do a group by for that column and things like that. But they already thought that we are going to do that. The other way to do that is ts.resample and month and take a mean. In this case, take a sum. So either you can do the resample command or you can do the offset dot row forward command. And this is a period command which we could use to add the period. Okay, I'm going to the end to show you something that is more interesting now. So first I'm creating a range, and a range, and these are the data range, which is period is 12, frequency is t. So this is every hour. Now I'm doing the next step, which is I'm putting data inside that hourly index. And then when I want to resample it on 5 minutes and take a sum, I could do that, and I can do a 5-minute sum based on this. So right now I think it's a minute, 1 minute. So it's going to be the sum of 5 minutes. And closed equal to right is the boundary. So this is how we do. You can play with this. You don't need to worry a lot about the code. I'm just sensitizing you to what is possible and what is not.